Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. This week here in Massachusetts, a staple in our state, a staple in the firearms community, is undergoing a change. Actually, the change is effective January 1st, but it's Smith & Wesson. Stick by and check this one out. So Smith & Wesson voted, well, the shareholders voted this week to officially change the name of the umbrella company, Smith & Wesson, to American Outdoors Brand Corporation. What used to be known as Smith & Wesson Holdings is now American Outdoor Brands Corp. Kind of a shock, especially for those in the state who aren't familiar with the news in the firearms community. It's actually been happening for a month. It was the first week in November when the executive board came up with this new name, and the reason they came up with this name was for a couple reasons. The biggest one is to make more money. Smith & Wesson has been around since 1852 when Horace Smith and Daniel Wesson got together and started making revolvers. They also invented the volcanic rifle and the volcanic cartridge. Now, major companies are no stranger to name changes and tweaks, and Smith & Wesson, they're no different. See, 3 years after becoming Smith & Wesson back in 1852, the name was changed to Volcanic Repeating Arms, basically looking to market the gun and the cartridge that they had recently invented. Later, the company was bought by Oliver Winchester, yes, that Winchester, who had created a repeating rifle. And then later on, when Samuel Colt's patent for the repeating revolver had expired, that's when Smith & Wesson got back together, formed a new Smith & Wesson company, and began making revolvers again. Now, Smith & Wesson is near and dear to my heart. Yes, I live here in Massachusetts, not very far from where the factory is in Springfield. Smith & Wesson is the company I chose when I took my first commercial firearms instructor class. Had a great time and met a lot of cool people there. I know people who work in the factory. I know people who work in their security division. I know people who work in the higher-ups. It's a very important company to the state. 2 years ago, Smith & Wesson Holdings Corp. bought Battenfeld Technologies for $130 million. So 2 years ago, those of us who follow it could see that changes were happening and something was going on. Now, that purchase put them immediately in the outdoor sporting goods market, and they continued to follow that path. For years, many people have known about Smith & Wesson knives. It was, in fact, it was one of the first name brand companies, mass-produced ones, that actually started the tactical carry knife craze with their SWAT knife back in the day. Taylor Brands had always been the company that made those knives for Smith & Wesson. Well, earlier this year, Smith & Wesson bought Taylor Brands. Not too long later, Smith & Wesson bought Crimson Trace. Yes, that Crimson Trace, the laser sight manufacturer. And just 10 days ago or so, they purchased Ultimate Survival Technologies, which is an extreme outdoor sporting goods gear company. So you can see they're diversifying their portfolio is what they are saying. They're actually trying to make more money because we all know the sporting goods umbrella is huge and they're trying to catch some of that money. Now, they're not taking the name Smith & Wesson off any of their firearms or their firearms accessories. That will remain. What is changing is the parent company's name to reflect they're more than just guns. This isn't something new for Smith & Wesson. They've been doing this for a long time. For the last 20 years that I've been involved with the company on the instructor level, they've had Smith & Wesson shooting glasses, flashlights, pants, boots. They've done this all along in small increments, but now they're going for the gusto. So become familiar with American Outdoor Brands Corporation. You're going to be hearing a lot from them in the near future. The name change is effective January 1st, 2017. And for those who have stocks, Smith & Wesson Holdings used to be the ticker SWHC. It is now going to be AOBC. So if you do have stocks, make note of that. If you don't have stocks, this is probably going to be a big boom for this company. You might want to jump on board. That's the news for Smith & Wesson as of today. Big name change, trying to become a bigger footprint in the outdoor sporting goods arena. But if you like this information, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I pump out Second Amendment information almost on a daily basis, so please consider joining if you would. Until we see each other again, this is JR from Guns and Gadgets telling you to be safe, stay vigilant, and carry your weapon. Take care.